Hey everyone, so I wanted to do a quick update on some things. And I once again have my guitar plugged into the Headrush Mx5 that I'm really liking. The two sounds that you just heard were the soft preset with a nice rotary effect, and the one right here is number 255. It is a stock factory preset. It's called Punk. Oh yeah. All right, so I'm really loving this unit so far. I wanted to give an update on that. This is a really awesome effects unit, and there's a couple of videos around it, and I think it's absolutely worth it. I have been off and on into the pedal game for a long while. I've been playing for nearly 20 years now, and you know, I've done the pedal board thing, and I've even had a pedal board that I took and played at church here and there. And the thing is, if you're that kind of player, if you're playing out at your church, if you're probably similar thing, if you're just gigging here and there, I never want to have that huge pedal board, and this thing is really, it's nice. It's about that big. I'll do a big video on it, and I'll have it in my hands, and I'll show you my favorite things about it. But it's a really nice form factor, really nice size, really great price. You know, paying it off right now, and that should be really quick. It's about 400 bucks new, and sold my Zoom towards it, and yeah, it's just a better option for people like me who want a lot of different effects and want a lot of different options for effects, but don't want to spend a ton of money on that. At least not right now. So the other thing I want to give you an update on is this guitar. And I haven't really done a video talking about it yet. I only got it pretty recently here with a firm, and paid off some other things that I had on a firm, and then got this. And you know, I would love to be able to afford a Mexican player Fender. Someday again, I would like to own an American Fender. But while I'm trying to keep in that range, you know, these Squiers do play really nice, and so these run just under 500, I think, $449 or $479 currently. And I got this for quite a bit less, a little over $350 or something like that, $375. I think with all the expenses and taxes and whatnot. And so it looks great, nice candy apple red finish. I do believe right now it's easier to find them in that vintage white and like a Daphne blue. I'm not sure if it's Daphne blue or has another name to it, but it's like a light kind of almost a sonic blue. And I've seen those in shops. That was the one I played initially. I like this color better, but the blue looks nice. And the vintage white, from what I've seen, looks really good. It has that kind of, that almost like creamy banana yellow. And I've always liked that. I don't think it's quite like the buttercream, but check the Andertons video for that and whatnot. Anyway, the nice thing about the nice things about this, I should say, as far as what you're getting for your money when you get a classic vibe, is this sort of really nicely finished neck. This like orange tint makes it kind of have that vintage look. I wouldn't call these necks sticky. Some people say they are. I wouldn't call them that. But maybe a little bit. And it has this nice flat feel, but it's not terribly modern. It doesn't seem like a heavy metal guitar by any means. It's not like an Ibanez, or like most Ibanez's are. It's a 9.5 inch radius, if I'm not mistaken, and it has this just really fast feel, especially with it being short scale. And that was one of the reasons why I was really interested in it, because the Mustang has that shorter scale. I played a Mustang Player Series a little while ago and really fell in love with it, and it was sold a bit too quickly for me to be able to afford it, and that was when I was just starting the job that I have right now. So I luckily found this used and for a good price, and so I really like the neck, and I like these tuners are really good. It's pretty stable as far as tuning so far. And these pickups sound great. This is a nice bridge. The trem, okay, so the person who sold it to me did not have the trem bar. I've heard they fall out really easy. I do kind of like that it's there, because I can do and rock it in kind of the way that I would with like a Strat bridge. Like I think you might be able to see it in the camera. My Squier Affinity Jazzmaster that I've had a couple videos on. So this kind of bridge, it's really nice to be able to just kind of have your palm right there, so you can just kind of rock it sometimes and get that tremolo effect. And you can do that with this. And it's a nice subtle effect. And I think it also encourages you to kind of get a little bit of that going on, you know, with your own fingers. And that's pretty cool. Let's see, maybe. Nice snappy, clicky kind of twang sound. This is the blues one. So you can get that nice kind of vibrato on it, and that's all I really want for, you know, a trem like this. I don't even get too crazy. I've been experimenting with a little bit like a surfy kind of tone here and there, and I might try it for that. And that's cool. But I really just like the short scale feel of this neck and everything. As far as how does this compare to like the Mexican Player one that I tried, to the Player Series, I would say it's up there. If you have that extra, what's going to be $200-300 depending on if you get a Mustang, it's going to be like $220 more at this time. And if you get something like a Jazzmaster Jaguar, those are $829, so that's going to be $350 or something like that. And that is a reasonable price hike. No, I don't really think it's worth that per se, but if you're like, well, this is made in, you know, the Ensenada factory, there is some mojo with that, and yeah, there's some better quality control. And you know, the old myth is always that like the guy, some of the guys at least, that work on the like American Performer and the American, what is it, Professional now, they used to be the Standards. They'll work in the factory in California, and then they'll go on lunch break and drive over to the Ensenada factory in Mexico because it's less than 100 miles away, and the quality really isn't all that different. It's just maybe the parts are nicer or whatnot. So that was why a lot of people would say, oh, well, I played this Mexican Strat and it was just as nice as this American one or whatnot. And your mileage is going to vary, but a Fender, they do still make nice guitars. It's just you gotta, I would look, it's always fun to hunt, if you want to just order from the factory and then have your guy at the shop set it up, there's nothing wrong with that either. It's going to be a nice Fender guitar, and your guy is probably going to set it up real nice because there's a lot of people that know how to do some good work on these things. So yeah, my initial impressions on this is it's a really great guitar. I love the tones on it. I think it gets some nice kind of unique tones. Let's see if we can kind of highlight that for a moment here. So I have them both here on the middle, and I know when I do if I do a more in-depth video on this, I'll figure out exactly how these work. But so in the middle, they're both off, okay? And this is the regular setting for them both on. Real Fendery single coil, but it's not quite a Strat and it's not quite a Tele, and I really like that. Let's go, you can also do this way, and I believe that would set the bridge, out of phase, I think is the term. And there's a brighter kind of, a snappier tone to it. I think it's a nice kind of way to get a little bit nicer of a cut, especially on these clean settings. So let's do that again. See, that's much brighter. And then if we have them both like that, and if I have them, so they're like this, where this one's all the way up and this one's all the way down. So, and there's definitely a difference. You're gonna find those one or two sounds probably, if you're like most people, that you really like. But it was neat at church last week. I was playing this and I just kind of switched out to this setting on the one song and had a cleaner tone, and it just really, it hit it nice. It really cut. I liked it a lot. So I'm a big fan of this guitar so far. I would love to get a player series, like a Jazzmaster or a Jaguar. I'm kind of leaning on one of those maybe by the end of the year. There's a couple other things I'm looking at. Just kind of something different. I played a lot of Strats and Teles for my guitar career, and I'm kind of thinking about just running something different, but who knows, I might get another Strat, and I'll let you know if I do and why. But to kind of wrap it up, my local guitar shop here, Flatland Guitar, carries Charvel and Jackson, and they're owned by Fender, and I was kind of thinking it would be really neat if, so Charvel has this model, and I think Jackson has made some too, but they're technically a Charvel model. It's called a Surfcaster, pretty sure. And they've made a version of it called the Skatecaster, which it's the same thing. It's this kind of Jazzmaster shape, but it's got a 3 inline sort of headstock, 3 and 3. Really cool. The only one they have in mass production right now is a purple one that looks pretty neat, plays really nice, around $900. I forget where they're made, I have to look it up again. I think it would be neat if Fender would take those and put a pick guard on them like they've done before, and then have different pickup configurations. That would be super sweet, I think. I would like that so much, and have like metallic surfy finishes, or maybe have like a soft like shell pink and the surf green, surf blue sort of finishes. Yeah, that would be super cool, Fender. You should absolutely do that. Like, those are neat guitars. And that would be kind of, because like Jazzmasters and Jaguars being on the Player Series and on the Ventura, that's like making them, they seem bigger now. I see them like all over, like popular music that has guitars like country music and folk rock and southern rock and all the different sorts of rock. And even synthwave and indie rock. Indie rock's always been a big place for Jazzmasters, offset guitars, Jaguars, that kind of thing. Yeah, it would be sweet to see those, because Charvel and Jackson, they kind of get this license to do sort of the more off, weirder things with these sometimes normal shaped guitars, or these metalish kind of guitars, and they have like a shell pink San Dimas right now that I'm just drooling over, and there's a shell pink SoCal that I really like. So I don't know, Fender should do something with some kind of offset on Charvel or a Jackson. That'd be sweet. Alright guys, I'm going to have a couple more videos coming pretty soon. Probably some kind of synthwave mix, maybe a vaporwave mix in the next couple weeks. And probably something where I just talk about some weird stuff. I was thinking maybe another liminal space video. Alright, thanks. Please like, please subscribe. I would love to have just a little corner of our world here with like-minded people, a few hundred subscribers. That would be cool to have someday. Alright, listen to good music. See you later.